TV radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV radio. We dare to lead. Elegbete TV radio. Redefining broadcasting. Listen. This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV radio. The pathfinder for radio. You are listening to Elegbete TV radio.
Elegbete TV radio. We are not just about radio, TV, or YouTube numbers. We are all about connecting with people and creating a community of great minds and values.
Academy. All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Idafi Matthews. You love to come in the Elegbete One Sports with 2 red cards last night. Celtic also considered 2 goals to lose in the Netherlands by 2 goals to nothing to Feyenoord. Some will argue that if the red card was not given, maybe they would have drawn or gotten a win in that game. AC Milan started the day by destroying everybody's bet ticket as they ended the game 0-0. Had that game ended in a draw, I don't know. Anybody who did not watch that game would be hailing Newcastle right now. Well, you have to hail Newcastle because Nick Pope did a lot as a goalkeeper. Well, as Nick Pope was doing his own stopping AC Milan, Rafael looking for only the spectacular goal, and Olivier Giroud not really Girouding on the night. Well, you have young boys being taught some lesson by RB Leipzig, the guys from East Germany, letting the young boys know that this is not the boys' game, this is the Champions League, and it is a competition for the men. And only the men know how to play in it. If you're a young boy, go back home and suck on your mommy's boobies, because in this game, you get beaten if you don't come prepared. That's exactly what happened in the Champions League. And then while that was happening, Barcelona welcomed the Royal Antwerp. There was nothing royal in the treatment that FC Barcelona gave to Royal Antwerp, as Joao Felix found a way to make sure he could lean off the back of Lewandowski and learn a few tricks about goal scoring. That man who wasted 6 months of his life at Chelsea playing rah-rah-rah football became a star player on the night, as himself and Lewandowski combined very well to help Barcelona take 5 goals to nothing win. Well, Lazio waited for the 95th minute and come at the month, as commentators would love to say. Well, it was Providence, as they would say. The cross came in, and who met the ball? The one man who have no business being in the box, even though it's the department of play is always in the box, but it's on the other side. Well, it was the one who came in and scored. We've seen goalkeepers score goals, so it's not a new thing, but he's the 4th goalkeeper to score in a UEFA Champions League match. But what was beautiful about that goal was the way he timed his run, and the header looked like something that Olivia Belf or Rashidi Yakini, probably Julius Efosa Agawa, or maybe Victor Osimhen would have done, and everybody would be excited. It is a goal that is worth more than its weight in gold. But at the end of the day, Atletico Madrid manager would not be happy, because that's one of the things you don't prepare for. You don't know how to prepare your team to defend against a goalkeeper scoring against your team. Well, that's what happened. For the defending champion, they defended very well. There was a little dent, but that didn't change anything, as Red Star Belgrade was given a 3-star thrashing, even though they made sure Man City didn't get a clean sheet. But who cares? If you're the defending champion and you're able to win your game 3-1 to open your campaign, we know that everybody will be racking up themselves, trying as much as possible to beat Man City. But Man City have made it clear that their mission this season is to defend the UEFA Champions League, and it was very, very good. Julian Alvarez was one player that really shone like a million star. Like they always say that this competition is designed for a player like that man called Allen, but it wasn't on the score sheet. In this case, it was Julian Alvarez who scored first as he equalized in the 47th minute. After the Red Star team, Bukhari had put it one goal up in the 45th minute, and in the 47 minutes in the second half, 2 minutes into the half, it was Julian Alvarez who got a pass from Haaland, and that was the goal. And just when you think that was over, in the 60th minute, Julian Alvarez made it 2-1. And the man who scored the last goal of the Champions League last season, talking about Rodri, found a way to make it 3-1. And that's what she wrote as Man City ran at 3-1 winner over Red Star Belgrade. Well, some people will be very happy because in the 83rd minute, Kevin Phillips had a chance to play and he was brought in. And a few other players, Rico Lewis, Bob and the rest of them had a chance to play in the Champions League. Well, if you don't play these young kids in this game and these players that are coming back from fitness issue, I don't know what game you will play there. Man City have started very well. Well, Paris Saint-Germain, we expected this game to be difficult, to be tough, to be very, very tight, tighter than the Virgin, but Paris Saint-Germain found that the lubricant to be able to go through. First, it was Kylian Mbappe's penalty, and then Achraf Hakimi, the man who trended for managing his resources, and I don't know, I still think it was the fakest news that trended the most. Yes, about his divorce and his marriage and all that, and all his property being on his mother's name. But that's a topic for another day. Let's move on the show. I'll let you know that Shakhtar Donetsk, sitting at home, you expect them to do something, but this is not Donetsk, this is not Ukraine, this is Poland. And like I said yesterday on the show, I know that FC Porto were going to go there and get a result. And indeed, they did get that result. It was beautiful for FC Porto. Not mess with the Portuguese teams. They know how to get result on the Champions League night. And indeed, they got that one. 3-1 like Man City was what they got. One of the only few teams to win away from home. So you give them a lot of credit, as well as RB Leipzig, who went to young boys in Switzerland and said, you might have all the gold and all the stolen wealth of the rest of the world, especially from Africa here, but we are East Germans and we know the role the Swiss play in the wall of Berlin, and we're here to dismantle our own psychological wall, and we must beat you. And that's exactly what they did. So it was sweet win for them. We hope that tonight we are also going to be feasted. Everybody is pissed with AC Milan. Why didn't AC Milan win that game? Well, there are a lot of games going on tonight. You would have Galatasaray playing at home against FC Copenhagen, Real Madrid playing against Union Berlin. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, if you had told anybody from the city of Union Berlin that this team will be playing in the last Champions League game, the competition where the group is in this format, that Union Berlin will be playing their opening match of the season against the greatest team ever in the competition, Real Madrid, I'm sure everybody will call you a liar, a fake sorcerer, a magician without source, and all that. But well, 2023. We've seen stranger things than this. Remember, in 2004, stranger things than this happened. In 2016, stranger things than this happened. Yes, somebody say, what happened in 2004? Well, Greece, who had not won any game in any competitive competition, won the Euros. That's how strange things can be. And then in 2016, remember, it was the year where stranger things also happened. Leicester City, out of nowhere, won the English Premier League. We cannot forget that one. Yes, and so this stranger things are happening again. Arsenal and PSV are not strangers to each other. For those Arsenal fans that are licking their lip, I'm feeling like, oh, this is going to be an easy game. It is not going to be easy. PSV have not lost a game this season. They've won 7 out of 8, drawn 1. They've conceded maybe only one goal in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Stand corrected on that one. And they are a very tricky side. They are a very difficult side because they play exactly the way Arsenal play, and they are difficult. Well, last season they were in the same Europa League group stage. They made it out of the group, got beaten by Sevilla, but this is a team to take serious for Arsenal fans. Manchester United travel to Germany. I guess who they play? Bayern Munich. They are going to play against a player who they could have had. Even Harry Kane himself said he would have loved to run down his contract at Tottenham and move straight to Manchester United, but he didn't have a clear channel of communication that says the door is open for you, and that's why he went to Germany. Again, the chairman of Tottenham, Daniel Confused Man Levy, has come out to say there is a buyback clause on the contract that sent Harry Kane to Germany. How does that help anybody in Spurs. I just want to know, how does that help anybody? The reason why I'm not asking for myself, I'm asking for my friend. How does that help anybody? This guy is 30, 31, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to play a few years there. So when you want to buy him back, how much are you buying him back? And how does that bring value to this thing that is going for? What are you telling the players that are there right now that are doing excellently well? I think that Spurs have made an incredible start. But this is not the first time we're seeing Spurs make incredible start, unless they want to surprise me this year. But we keep our fingers crossed and we'll see. Coming up over the weekend is a meeting with Arsenal. I just hope that Arsenal would prioritize properly. Maybe, take it easy on this PSV game and then go play Spurs and win. If you are Arteta, that's where my first question is coming from. If you are Arteta with view, knowing that you're playing Spurs at the weekend, where would your selection, how would your selection be done? Because those people were criticizing him for playing Raya. I'm sure they didn't see this coming. Now, how would you make your selection? Because you don't want to use everybody and then play this game and then lose or win and then lose players and then go play Spurs and something happen. But then again, football is not always like that. We're going further. Benfica plays against Salzburg today, and then you have Braga playing against Victor Osimhen's Napoli. Napoli are a different team from the one we saw last season. I'm not sure anybody's hoping to put their bet on them. Napoli have not won in their last two games. They lost to Lazio, and then they drew with Genoa, and now they're going away. They've been having it tough a bit. Let's see if they can use Braga to find their form. Real Sociedad, who almost got a win against Real Madrid, eventually losing 2-1, go host Inter in this game, and we hope that Inter Milan can take that 5-1 form to Real Sociedad, but that's not a very easy place to travel to. Yes, Europa Cup specialists are also going to be hosting Ruiz-Roma's former club RC Lens, as Sevilla hosts Lens in the final game of the evening. There are still 2 games for 5:45, and then the other ones run from 8 p.m. to VAR and other time says whatever. Well, don't forget that in the Europa Conference League, there is one game. Lille will play Ljubljana, whatever their name is called. And then the African Cup of Nations for women qualification, there's a lot of games, even though Satuma and Principe women have withdrawn from the competition and making it a true for Nigeria. There is Angola women playing against Sudan. There is Eswatini playing against Burkina Faso. Rwanda women, one of the cleanest country in Nigeria right now, playing against Ghana. Uganda women playing against Algeria. Egyptian women playing against South Sudan. That's a Northern African battle, and so on and so forth. Well, let's go to the next new segment of the show. For those of you asking me where is Emmanuel Sebastian is on national duty, running around trying to fix the country while I am here in the studio. I would have been there with him as well, but let him take care of the things on the road and I take care of things in the studio. For those of you who stayed with us yesterday, it's part of the whole power outage and all the problem we had. It was good. I know that one person will be over the moon. He advised that I talked to Arteta to sign Joao Felix, and I said he's a rubbish player. And Joao Felix scored 2 goals last night. Barcelona look to be back. They are now back in the Luis Enrique Barcelona that won the treble, the Pep Guardiola Barcelona that won the treble, but they're back. They look like they are back, at least. Yeah, they didn't concede a goal, but wait, they played against Real Antwerp. I mean, those guys are not a football man. Let's be very honest. Well, for you guys out there, who did it for you? Who was the player of the night? Who was your team of the night? And who flopped? Because some people's bet ticket was cancelled last night because of some team. So who failed you and who raised your hands up like the hands of Moses over the valley, seeing that Israel win the battle? Well, let's look at the story side of things, and I'll come back to you. Today is me and you. Emmanuel Sebastian is not here. Harry Kane walked into the media amphitheatre at the Allianz Arena and took his seat on a dais in front of him. The stage was lit in glowing red. Oh God, some people they write to now these people delicately they write like when you do read them, it just be like seeing a romance, like you are in an orgasmic environment. Everything just go mwah, like somebody's kissing you. Okay, like in his dream, Kiss Ledali is kissing Simi, Adekola Gold is holding Koboko and saying, try that thing, let me see you. Try it, and Kiss Ledali be like, I beg all die and die. See me, bring them up. That's exactly the way this writer is making me feel. Okay, it was the red Bayern Munich, not the red of Manchester United, as Kane sat and talked about tonight's Champions League stage game with Erik ten Hag struggling side. It felt as if the England captain was leaving embodiment of the lack of ambition and failure of recruitment strategy at Manchester United. Hey, Oyibo Grammatica. If people want to write, they write finish strategy like say that they go war. Hey, the character is supposed to describe war in Ukraine, and they describe honorary football when we see that they play. Wow. Well, Champions League group stage tie with Erik Ten Hag struggling side. It felt as if the England captain was the living embodiment of a lack of ambition and failure of recruitment strategy at Old Trafford. Kane was for sale in the summer and it is stopped. He was open to a move to United. He didn't want to leave England. He wanted to break Alan Shearer's record. But Manchester United were Manchester United. They were not planning at all. The planning was not planning. One of the best strikers in the Premier League, England's greatest scorer, a leader, a consummate professional was available, and United did not even try to sign him. Bayern paid 100 million to make him their new figurehead, the new face of a great club. Oh, Manchester United, how have that fallen? And just like I said, Daniel just showed up. He said, "Oh, die, not die." My brother, all die, not die. In pursuit of your dream and your career, all die, not die. Let me tell you, yes, I'm a living witness to that. People will tell you that it not gonna work. July 2017, I met Kingsley Daly for the very first time one-on-one. Okay, so me and Kingsley Daly, we didn't meet as friends initially. I mean, like there was argument and then beef, and then this guy came to me. That's how you know great people. He moved and came to me and said, "Oh, sorry, man, I gave you an appointment. I didn't turn up. Sorry, man. That's the day the guy won my heart. Like you left the mainland to just come tell that if sorry, where you send an SMS. Hey, that one was like that's like this is a good man." And then again, he showed up again, and then he came to my house and he brought goodies like those guys in the Bible that went to visit Jesus for my children. I'm just angry he didn't bring anything for me anyway, but. You know how it is that they say the way to a man's heart is his stomach. That's a lie. Because if you look at the human anatomy, you get to the heart before the stomach. So I don't understand that. The way to winning any man, especially parents' heart, is to show love, not pedophilia love, love to his children or her children, any parent. They would respect you to the ends of the world. And that's what this man represents, Kingsley Daly. And since then, he's been pushing my business. He told me that day, I remember as I said, "Never, I'm not be fired." But I was sounding prophetic. It's like, guy, I'm thinking, I want to start doing content. I think I have too much time on my hands. I have a camera, a DSLR camera, and I don't know what I just close 11 o'clock. I'm home. Sometimes I don't want to go home. I go to the cinema. I go to the hotel, sit down there for some time, just eat fish and chips, and then come back. I'll go to Radisson by the poolside. I think this is not productive habit. I'm not picking up a good productive habit. I'm not growing any younger. And Kingsley Daly said this. He will not remember. I said, "You know that all these predictions, all these analysis that you've given, 10 years from now, people will argue that you ever said anything like this. But if you have it on video, if you have it on tape, it's always going to be there." And I was like, "On tape, where am I going to put it? I don't have airtime." And he said, "But you have YouTube or Facebook and the rest of it. Why not use it?" And I said, "Really?" And that's where the whole thing, and we went and we started doing Sports as the Odd. That's a story that I've not told before. And I'm not sure he remembers, but it was at the entrance to the Brilla Road, the entrance there where you have FCMB. We're just coming and standing by the side of a vulcanizer because I needed to pump my Camry, my Toyota Camry tire. And eventually they took it from me anyway. They robbed it off me. Yeah, no worries. That story will come another day. So, and I said, "Okay, no problem." So I called who's not a chief, and that time she wasn't a chief, and SIM card. And, that's how the whole journey started. And before then, we started doing precious moments, okay? And the rest, as I say, is history. See where we are today. So when it comes to your dream, all that and die, people standing up against you, go chase your dream. Go now, their dream they chase. I make you do where you work for them. If you reach your go chase your dream. Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy has sensationally revealed that the club have a buyback option in Harry Kane's £100 million move to Bayern Munich. Kane ended a 19-year stay at Spurs when he moved to the Allianz Arena in the summer and will make his Champions League debut for Bayern Munich against Manchester United tonight. But Levy has confirmed for the very first time that he could resign Kane after inserting a buyback clause when the England captain moved to to the Bundesliga champion for 100 million. But you didn't tell us how much to buy him back. And what sense does it make? Okay, if you are a Spurs fan, would you want to see Kane come back to Spurs? You know, looking at how they started, and all of a sudden, even Richarlison is beginning to find form. So I know that these Spurs will still bottle themselves. They'll still knock themselves out of the top four. But Ange Postecoglou is doing a good job. Let's give him credit. I hardly praise Spurs, but Ange is doing a good job. Would you want to have Spurs back? Harry Kane back? Who is he coming to Kane? This is the Gen Z generation. I know they can't anybody here. But tonight, it does look like he's going to Kane Man United anyway. What Chelsea star Trevor Chalobah, personal trainer, reveals the absolute mess he says is causing their injury crisis, with Mauricio Pochettino left to work with a threadbare squad. What that mess is on Daily Mail. I don't have the time to read through it, but you can check it out on Daily Mail. Chelsea have been without several key men this season as they try to rebuild under Mauricio Pochettino, and have won just one of their opening 5 matches of the Premier League season. 2, as a matter of fact, in 2023. God, I beg you. Well, it has been revealed that Manchester United £50 million striker bid, which was laughed off this summer before landing £72 million Rasmus Højlund, that Rashford is trying so hard to destroy his opportunities. Well, I don't know if Manchester United just like the thing rash anyway. Maybe they will sign Raskimono next, because anybody that have rash now, Rashford, Rasmus, let's go. After missing out on Harry Kane. However, reports emerged insinuating that Kane was not the only striker target that they failed to snatch up, with a £50 million bid for another Premier League star laughed off by the club that owns the player. Yes, there is also a heavy talk of Arsenal signing Ivan Toney. That conversation is now growing big. For me, I think I like him. I don't know about you guys, but I want to remember. Crazy Adala said, yeah, I remember how I came to pitch a football scouting business to you at Brilla. Yes, you did. And the rest, as they say, is history. Look at us now. We're working together. We're partners. Many projects are still yet to come out that we're going to do together. You see, God sometimes just put a storm in your water so that you can go to a bigger boat, because the boat you are on is now becoming too small for you. But you'll think that, oh, why is this storm? Why am I suffering? Why is this happening? Well, shush is life, as my job brothers will say. Abby, shush is life. Well, Lazio goalkeeper Ivan Provedel provided the moment to remember on the night. I don't know if any other person can beat him, for the match they won of the UEFA Champions League, but I think he's my player of the night. Yes, Ivan Provedel scores incredible 95th minute equalizer against Atletico de Madrid, with the last cap touch of the game, becoming just the 4th shot stopper to net in the Champions League. The 29-year-old rescued the host a point with the last touch of the game as he nodded in Luis Alberto's cross on his Champions League debut. No less, blue smoke rose from a flare flung into the pitch as the Stadio Olimpico roared into life in ecstasy to celebrate the implausible moment. Who would have thought about it? Who would have written the script that Greece in 2004 will win a Euro that have almighty Portugal with prime and informed Luis Figo, with Zinedine Zidane and his French team, and every other team that came to that competition? Who would have written that script? Just as it was in 1992, when Denmark, from nowhere, players that didn't qualify, were vacationing, were on holiday. So much so that even their own best player, Michael Laudrup, said, I beg you, I don't feel like they are inviting us to come and disgrace us. I'm not joining you guys. His younger brother saying, I'm going on, Ross. You're not going to go play. So you guys are disturbing me. They went on, they saw. They came, they saw, and they what? They conquered. They became champions. Where scripts are written. I would have thought that LeBron James, the man from Akron, will lead the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the NBA. Well, that's some stuff that you don't expect. Just the same way a Jamie Vardy, who is a late starter in football, could have become the guy who leads a Leicester City team. Come on, 1,000 to 1. That's the bet on them, for them to win. And they went on to win the league in 2016. Does that not evidently already tell you that chase your dream? It might just be the year where somebody like you becomes successful. Well, I would have thought that the day will come when African countries will stand up against the might of France. that is happening. These are the years, these are the days, these are the times where somebody should just dare to do the impossible. Just dare to dream, dare to do the impossible. You never can tell if the grace for impossible to happen is around your corner. I'm just saying it. Well, I don't know if I'm even talking to anybody, but I'm just saying it. Man City survived scared to kick off their Champions League defense with a 3-1 win over Red Star Belgrade at Julian Alvarez net twice after they had trailed the Serbian team at halftime. See, don't make Man City angry. This is what happens when they are angry. They are incredible hawk. They can just be there as Dr. Banner or whatever his name is. But if you, Bruce Banner, right? Dr. Bruce Banner. But when you touch them in the wrong place, go and ask Sheffield. They will show you their integrity. Yes, that the tiger can bite very, very hard and burst hole in your esophagus. That's exactly what it did. Okay, this is what happens when they are angry. Red Star Belgrade led for a beat, not long, but a beat. 2 minutes actually. If you remove the interval of the break. Olivier Giroud was mourning and groaning, not out of sex, but felt like it was being violated. Yes, Olivier Giroud bemoans AC Milan's luck in front of goal after the Serie A giant failed to convert any of their 25 shots in a goalless draw with Newcastle. Who would have thought? All of my ticket was destroyed because of AC Milan. Jesus Christ. Every other prediction I made was correct. All I needed AC Milan to do was just score one goal, win that game, and probably this morning I wake up with over £500,000. Well, I lost my money. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. This will never be the same. Olivier Giroud was left to ruin AC Milan's luck after his team squandered several clear-cut chances in their 0-0 draw with Newcastle on Tuesday night. Newcastle had a hard, very, very hard fought point on their return to the Champions League after 20 years. For 20 years, that's almost the time that Nelson Mandela spent in jail. Yeah, that's how long they've been away from the competition. But people will be talking about Arsenal. 20 whole years, yes. Take away 20 years from your current age and tell me where you will be. Back in secondary school for some of you, back in the university for some of you, back in your mother's home for some of you, back in your father's spend for some of you. Your father have not even met your mother for some of you. Yes, take away 20 years from your years. And those of you that are 19, those of you that are 18, those of you that are 16, 15, you know where you'll be right now. But well, it was a 0-0 draw. Newcastle will play better than this in Europe this season and lose. Okay, that's what somebody said. Their first Champions League game for 2 decades. It was at times a bewildering and vaguely traumatic experience. Goalkeeper Nick Pope was Eddie Howe's best player by some distance. There were few other contenders on an evening when they were overrun and played at class, but not at scored, as the game ended 0-0 by AC Milan. But somehow, Newcastle didn't lose. They didn't succumb to the waves of red and black. And so strangely, the Champions League voyage has begun with a valuable away point and something on which they can build. God, if I see people can write like this, I will employ them. One lie, I'm telling you. Barcelona, they were royal on their side, but they didn't bother to look at Royal Antwerp and say you are royal. After all, if you're coming from Belgium, you do not deserve any royal treatment, especially if you're an African. It says King Leopold that discombobulated and destroyed and ravaged and savaged Africans, especially in the Congo. So anything bad happening to anybody from Belgium, it's okay as far as I'm concerned. Barcelona 5, Royal Antwerp 0. Yippee! Joao Felix gave my friend Ediale Kingsley the night to remember, an orgasmic night. I remember, I heard he was doing research, but when that game started, he dropped all his pen, closed his computer, and focused on the game. And he was just smiling. He was drinking imaginary wine and eating imaginary biscuit and eating 5-course meal in his own room as he was watching that game. That's what the little birdie told me. I don't know if it is true, but Ediale Kingsley can come here and confirm for me. Joao Felix continues superb start in Catalonia by igniting a breeze as Javi's men run riot in Champions League opener with Robert Lewandowski and Gavi also on target. He never did this when he went to Chelsea on loan. Joao Felix leads up another Barcelona performance, scoring twice as the beat Royal Antwerp 5-0. Well, let's go to Paris and tell you that Paris Saint-Germain beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0 as Kylian Mbappe's penalty and Achraf Hakimi's well-taken strike. Let's give the credit to the mother and win for hosts as they move top of Newcastle's group. The hosts broke the deadlock in the second half after Niklas Sule was judged to have handled the ball in the penalty area. Mbappe then stepped up and converted the spot kick. This guy, you discovered penalty shot. Yeah, Feyenoord 2, Celtic nil. Brendan Rodgers' side finished miserable night with 9 men after second half implosion. Imagine you're playing against Barcelona and you go and collect 2 red cards. You go collect. Or you play against Man City. That's the day that Erling Haaland will score 9 goals in one game. After second half implosion, as Dutch champions moved top of the group, the Dutch hosts scored in both half via Calvin Stanks and Alireza Jakambach. I beg, when I don't bring these players to Premier League because it got hard us to pronounce their name. At least let's see them once in a while. We struggle and we move on. And could have had 5 with 2 goals ruled out by VAR and a penalty saved. God, Celtic, you people have come again. They only qualify for the competition just to collect money. After now, the story is over. Well, let me come to you guys now. It's time for you. I always say that when it's just the 2 of us, 30 minutes for me, 30 minutes for you. It's a perfect one. Nobody loses anything. So let's start with your player of the night. Who did it for you? For me, I don't see how I can look past the Lazio goalkeeper. Okay, so there are a lot of performers. So I'm not trying to influence your judgment or your decision. I almost would have picked Nick Pope, honestly speaking, because Nick Pope, I saw that I was in the office. We were doing system upgrade, and I was in the studio here watching those games. And the goalkeeper for Lazio, Ivan Provedel, making his Champions League debut, bold enough after conceding the 1 goal in that game and defending very well, being a good man, commanding his defense, still went forward. And you know the confidence it takes. You're playing against Atletico Madrid. It's not just like maybe you're playing against Biscuit FC or FC Taraba or Sporting Lagos. You're playing, sorry, no disrespect to Sporting Lagos, for their fans will beat me now. But you're playing against a team that have gone to the finals of Champions League twice, a team that have Diego Simeone, the highest paid coach in the world. You're playing against a team that have produced some great players, and you had the audacity to leave your goal area and go forward to attack a cross. That is incredible. And as far as I'm concerned, take me anywhere. That man, Ivan Provedel, is my player of the night. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but let's stick with last night. And my team of the night. Okay, so this is kind of surprise everybody because you don't expect a team that did not win a match to be team of the night. My team of the night has to be Newcastle. Not like I'm really rooting for Newcastle, but AC Milan, 7 times winner of the Champions League, very experienced. Newcastle came with only 3 players that have ever heard the national anthem play while they were players. Walker, there are 3 players in Newcastle team, that Tonelli and one other player. But guess what? They went there. They didn't go all out to try to attack, but they knew how to defend. They blocked all the spaces, all the chances. 25 shots by AC Milan. Nick Pope was there popping all the balloons of their victory. So for me, my team of the night on the first day, Tuesday, Champions League night for 2023-2024 season would have to be Newcastle, and my player of the night, Jesus Christ, Ivan Provedel. He provided the most exciting moment of the night. I don't know about you, but I would like to share in your thoughts and other questions that I've raised. Would you love to buy Harry Kane back if you are a fan of Spurs? Would you love Daniel Levy to bring Harry Kane back? He's not even played any single Champions League game. He's not really having the best of time in Germany. Bayern and all, firing on all cylinders. And Spurs are doing well. By any shades of the argument, they're doing well. Would you want to have him back? If you are also Mikel Arteta and Edu, would you agree to have a gambler? Yes, a gambler. Every gambler knows secret to surviving. Yeah, it's not work out to keep and work out to trade away, right? Now, would you want Ivan Toney to come to Arsenal? Because we all agree, we all kind of collectively agree, unless you're a person from Ghana, we all agree that Eddie Nketiah is a no-no. Eddie Nketiah is a good player. I mean, somebody once said that if you are good enough to sign for a club as big as Arsenal, then you are good. But then I reminded the guy that Nicolas Pepe signed for Arsenal, Francis Jeffa signed for Arsenal, Pascal Sagan, Mustafi, all these players signed for Arsenal. Arsenal is not a yardstick to measure whether you're a good player. As a matter of fact, Man United or Barcelona. Any dumb person can be lucky. Bebe signed for Manchester United under one coach that you people say is the greatest coach of all time. So it's nothing to that those things are not yardstick. It's just that sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time and you just sign. It's not that's not yardstick. But let's just keep our fingers crossed. So for you, would you want to have Ivan Toney at Arsenal in January? For me, I'll say yes, but I don't know about you guys. Like I said, my player of the night was Ivan Provedel. My team of the night, Newcastle United. And my news of the day was the news that Propel Sports have agreed a deal with MTN to power the streaming of the league. But I just have a caveat there. Does that mean that people that are not using MTN, if they download the app, they will not be able to use it? I don't know what that means anyway, but whatever it is, the most important thing is anything that puts the Nigerian league in the people's face gives me orgasm. I don't know. Yeah. So it's up to you now. Let's have some fun for the remainder of time that we have, 26 more minutes to the end of the show. Well, let me start with Instagram. I like my Instagram people. Before somebody will accuse me now, so created that has been up. So I was talking, it was here. Oh, wow. That's good. Let's get a lot of people here today. Well, created that is say Lazio's last minute goal saved my ticket last night. Feeling generous today, so I'm giving away 10K, 5K each for those who can quote lines from your past 3 guest interview. Gang. See, there's giveaway. There's giveaway. There's giveaway. You people on Instagram and YouTube, see, Created Ali is doing the giveaway. If you can quote it, some people go wrong, go back now, go watch video. This is nice. This is feeling good. Yeah. This is feeling really good. Really exciting for me. Okay, so let's go that crazy. When I say last minute goal, save my ticket, blah 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 blah. Who can quote lines from your last 3 interviews on the show? Listen, I should say enjoying your show as always. Well done, bro. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your predictions for tonight. Una love for that prediction. Okay, Udofia, I say, Baba, those teenagers from the last time Newcastle, guys, sick. Last time Newcastle came to the UCL are owing us years, respectively. Make them come play. Okay, no wahala. Deleman, I say that was a great write-up. See the way he packaged Newcastle in a write-up. Yeah, you have to. Well, they're great writers. When you're reading English tabloids, okay, so sometimes they overdo English tabloids, sometimes they overdo. But I just like sometimes when they get that excitement. What I learned from them, and yesterday I got a free lesson that would help my content grow. So I did a content on. So it was a demo. It was a demo. Everybody's going crazy about the content, but it was just a demo. It was like me saying to my producer, like, you know what, we'll be showing interview, we're doing so. Let's turn it into a magazine show. So we're trying to experiment. When we went back, we went to look at Gillette Water Sports, different shows that are online that we grew up on. And I thought, okay, let's do something that would be retro, but at least be forward. So the montages were looking like futuristic, like digital stuff. But at the same time, I wanted storytelling because that's what I'm good at. I'm always going to do what I'm good at. I'm not going to try. I'm an analyst. I'm a storyteller. I'm not really a presenter or reporter and all that. I've done all that, but that's not my strong suit. So I told him, I said, you know what, let's try this. It might go south, but people might like it. So we did. And everybody, I was getting comments. China Cherry put it in one WhatsApp group, and all the comments I was just getting the reviews, the positive reviews. Thanks to Toby Adekwaju, fantastic guy that I love and respect a whole lot for his doggedness and his belief in the Nigerian sports, Nigerian football and Nigerian sports in general. And I got a call in the night from a man that the first guy who gave me employment, back in 1994 when I went to Port Harcourt, when he was working for Sorry at the time, Mr. Erik called me and he gave me a lecture on content creation. And I think if I'd gone to school, maybe I would have paid maybe $500, $600, or $1,000 to learn over a period of 3 months or 6 months, whatever. And he gave me that lecture on storytelling. And I was just looking at the content that we did that everybody's excited about. And I'm like, this is crap. It felt like crap. Like, like, okay, you should have done this. You could have done that. You could have, put some embodiment, embellish the So, like, when we're talking about Lakers Salami Stadium, that we could have, wrap it around Awolowo, Cocoa House, some history, Lagunju, some of the history of Oyo that we didn't do. Like, okay, if we go back and we do something about Ugbe Stadium, to talk about Bendel Insurance, their history, Roland Eweres, Sebastian Bodri, Gordon Gizilian, people that have come out of the Edo State. But then we should also not forget Samuel Ogbomodia himself, the kind of governor that he was, and then move on past that and then talk about people like Osari Mori Joseph, Victor Waifu. And I was just sitting and listening to him talk, where it was like a professor explaining Archimedes' theory to you for the very first time and using the very easiest materials to make you understand it. I was like, okay, good. And I think it was one of the best things that happened to me yesterday. I mean, the day started very bad. You guys were part of the show yesterday. You saw what happened, but that call was a life-saving call. KW say for Royal Antwerp, if Barcelona have lost that game, then they're supposed to carry them go North Korea to meet Kim Jong-un. Okay. KW say certainly his player of the night is Ivan Providel. That guy, that performance was good. Since I said the Lazio keeper was the talk of the night. Strikers instinct 100%. Not a scrappy goal. Run first, diagonal run, cut back, met the ball. Oh God, the goalkeeper hand was just like this. It was Flapianski all over again. Flapianski. Okay, KW says, I have to think he started as second choice for Lazio last season. Only got his chance when the first choice got injured, and he hasn't looked back since then. Yeah, telling you, man. Christian say, leave Harry Kane for Bayern. Kane should have no business with them again unless he flops at his new level. I'm not sure he's going to flop. I think he's going to do well, but the club itself is not doing well. They need to sack Thomas Tuchel. If you're with me, all in favor say aye, all against say nay. Okay. Clarkson says, I greet you, bros. Glad to join you here after a long while. Thank you very much. And Christian Dallas say, beating Real Antwerp 5 goals makes Barcelona my obvious team. The Lazio goalkeeper is my player of the day. But I mean, Antwerp on a beat now. That's not like a big deal. For Newcastle out of the Champions League for 20 years, coming to the San Siro. Okay, and then there's a story about the San Siro that I also got from Mr. Erik yesterday. And he said, do you know why they call the stadium Giuseppe Meazza and also call it San Siro? So Giuseppe Meazza is an Italian who played for Inter Milan. So when Inter Milan are playing, the stadium automatically becomes Giuseppe Meazza. But when AC Milan are playing, the stadium becomes San Siro. And he said, why? Because AC Milan do not want to see themselves calling the stadium after an Inter Milan player. This is strange, strange things that you don't even know. So for them, the stadium is San Siro. But for Inter Milan, the stadium is Giuseppe Meazza. One stadium, that is not a case of 6 and 9. You're standing on this side, you're saying 6. I'm standing on this side, I'm saying 9. Two truths can stand side by side without anybody fighting each other. It was nice, to get lectured by a man who sabi. Man who sabi, I say man who sabi, that man who sabi. I mean, I grew up listening to it. Okay, let's go to YouTube and see what everybody's saying. Larry, what you say? Present, sir. Let's hear that. You say present, sir. All right, good to have you. Daniel Levy say AC Milan should have won that game, my brother. My brother, this money now, for just get some money to the play around. But AC Milan say they want to be AC Milan. So I can't carry my paper the face access back. They never agree reverse my 51,000 naira. That's 51 million naira. No, I not reverse my 51 million naira. And the bank have been staying. What's that? 51,000 naira since February, and another 16,000 naira since 8th of this month. God, that night, if you go to my Twitter, you see the time watching the tweet. You know, say, anger, something just trigger me. Yes, Odini Remileko says similar should have won, and then Odini Remileko want to say, I jammed a Man U fan this Monday putting on a Bayern jersey. These people don't give up. Strange things are happening. I want to wear my Bayern shirt this morning. But I realized, leave it for the trip. Yala already says Newcastle tried getting a away draw if only they can win their own matches. Okay. If the Nigerian football club they think like this now, when I go say I make Nigerian football they good. We're only thinking of winning at home. We don't win away from home. Well, Odeni Remileko say, I think Arsenal should go for Ivan Toney, right? And then he went on to say, but this one Chelsea won't put Sansan for the Gary. And I don't know, would you want to go to Chelsea right now? That Chelsea football club right now. Would you want to go there? That place right now? That place right now? Chelsea in the next 600 years, the suffering will just be done. Would you want to go and suffer? Leo, they say Bonjour of us. I greet you, my brother. I say last night game was nice, but I'm waiting for my darling Arsenal tonight. Arsenal, I don't even know how would you approach this game, knowing that you have Spurs over the weekend. How would you approach this game? I say flop of the night would have to be Rafael Leao for trying something stupid when he had an open goal to score. I think Rafael Leao, his problem, and this is why when they asked me if I want Arsenal to sign him, I said no, was he always think that he's Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo da Lima all put in one. He doesn't think you can score like regular goal. He thinks everything has to be spectacular, everything has to be fantastic, and that means you won't score a lot of goals. Yes, he scored 16 goals last season, if I'm not mistaken, but I think the player that he is, the skills and the talent that he's got, this is the kind of thing that made me have issues with the coach. I don't know. You just think that everything has to be spectacular, a bicycle kick, a corner from 40 yards. Sometimes a striker should score a tap in. It adds up to the numbers. Go and ask Alan Shearer. Go and ask Harry Kane. They'll tell you. Sometimes just tap the ball into the net. Just look for an empty net and score. Stop doing this, and then you're not winning. I don't know. Well, let's leave him. Let's leave him in that forest that he's in and pretend like we're not seeing it. Yeah. Leo, they says, boss, I beg for your opinion. Rodri and Kante who be the best? Prime, I would take Prime Kante over Rodri. Rodri is good, though. Rodri is good, but if you're talking about Rodri, you can't say Rodri is better than Vieira or Makalele. But if you're talking about Kante, you can be bold enough to say he's better than Vieira and Makalele, which is a very hard sell. It's a very, very hard sell because Vieira was incredible. Vieira and Makalele, these are two incredible players. And then you can't say Rodri is better than Carlos Donga or Didier Deschamps when they were playing, or Fernando Redondo. But you can put Kante in that conversation. He may not have the finesse that a Vieira has, a Donga had, a Didier Deschamps, and then the finest of them all, Fernando Redondo, but it's in the shindig, it's in the mix. Rodri is not there. Rodri is good. Rodri is Pep Guardiola type player, but you will still rate Sergio Busquets ahead of him. You still rate some of the players. Even Pep Guardiola as a defensive midfielder is better. He just doesn't have as much goals as Rodri have. But no, I'll take Prime N'Golo Kante. Prime N'Golo Kante is unplayable. I don't care who you are. He's unplayable. Go back to that Leicester team that won the title. Take out N'Golo Kante. They're nowhere. Go back to the Chelsea team that won everything. Take out N'Golo Kante. They're nowhere. People just give Hazard credit that he doesn't even deserve. But that's a topic for another day. Rodri is good. This is not me rubbishing Rodri, but you just give me a choice between the two of them. Oh boy. Nah. I'm going to stick with N'Golo Kante every and any day. Okay. Where did I stop? Where did I stop now? Okay. Mr. Kuhn Miyandi says there to do the impossible. He heard you were pressure say all my ticket went to Redland. Thanks to AC Milan. He paid me sharp. Man, I thought AC Milan were going to win that game. I was so sure. I broke my own rules. Normally, I don't put the same team on two different tickets. But it was Champions League night. There are not too many games. AC Milan. That one is taken for granted. So my early ticket was just wrap this one up first and see what you will do next. But where? Keodovia say, see earlier goal for young boys, just kick like a madman and he scored. Okay. King Solo Wise says, you are doing well. Thank you very much for that one. Keodovia say, flop of the night. Rafael, okay, I think I'm doing that one. Okay, so let's go further down and see. Remember, say Trippier to Nelly. Those your player of the night. Okay, that's yours. So, the Lara Roger say, I love Providence goal. He moved like he knew he was going to score the goal. Yes, there was something about the way he was moving. Kind of like felt like, oh, he knew that the cross was coming there and he just met it well. I mean, well-headed goal. It's been long I see somebody move like that. Last time was Olivier Bell, Jürgen Klinsmann, Rudevola, all Germans. Okay, and it was nice. It was very, very nice. Additional information yesterday, UEFA Champions League night was okay. It was not so exciting to me. Really? Barcelona won 5 goals to nothing. Paris Saint-Germain beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0. And Ivan Providel gave us a ninth to remember. I was like, what were you looking for? They should throw bomb. Were you looking for atomic bomb? Hiroshima and Nagasaki all over again. Well, that's you anyway. And the only strange result for the Milan and Newcastle also gave the night a talking note was the Lazio goalkeeper's goal. And that's enough. Okay, this is the first night, and you don't expect much, and I think they got more than we expected. King Ace, he said Lazio keeper for the goal. LOL. And Digital Lafama, went on to say today UCL would be the main talking point. Bayern versus Man United. That game figure they drab. They figure play goalless draw. You don't know anything. According to my friend, 1-1 goalless draw. Man U is the talking point. Thank God Ten Hag pulled Maguire from the firing line. Digital Lafama also went to say even Kane interview had to involve Maguire. I tire for the interview. The interview was all about England national team, Maguire. I thought it was Champions League press conference. Yeah, people, what are you doing? English media will always make everything about them. Until Afama went on to say, I will not advise my enemy to go to Chelsea and Man U right now. No, that's not a good place to go. You don't run into a burning house and say because you're a fireman. No. Temitayo says, it's good we're playing at home, playing sports after a long journey for Biwahala. Temitayo says, but I believe Arsenal will win both games. Okay? Odini Remleko say, one Egbon they follow me argue say Pep Guardiola no Danny play, I don't know, ball in his days. Say no Sabi, okay, maybe not Sabi one right. No Sabi play ball in his days. I just like the guy don't watch Pep Guardiola. The guy don't know football. Anybody who said that Pep Guardiola was not a good player in his days does not know anything about football. Probably the person only watched the Nigeria versus Spain match in 1998. Because sometimes that's how people judge football. You watch one game, that's the feeling you get. Pep Guardiola was one of the best in his position as a football player. Not all these ones that people are saying. One of the best, one of the toppest player in his game. It's like when you watch Pirlo, maybe the first time he was at Inter Milan, I was chased away. You will not say, oh, what's it called? And the Pirlo knows how to play ball. Pep Guardiola was very, very good. He tries so hard to play that, but it was very, very, very good. Yeah. But it will stop now. Okay. Here to our pressure say a whole Ugolo Kante. That guy is like spider web. Far. To compare him with Rodriguez, I think it's travesty, disrespectful to compare the two of them. But then it's football, you can compare anybody. So let's just accept it like that. That's the other right. Mayowa, my guy, he said, good morning. Amusa issue is getting out of hand. It shows they don't want Nigeria or extra black guys out of the way. The next person will be the Kenyan guys in 100 meter. You know the funny thing, when she failed to make it and, and everybody kept quiet. She just won again in the Diamond League, and then they are not saying they want to go to Court of Arbitration for sports. They should go. No, we already know the agenda. But I started saying this thing earlier, and everybody thought I was talking rubbish. Paul Obi say, good morning, Mr. Idafe. My team of the night is Man City. Really? While on Barcelona, I am not happy with the scoreline. Jehovah. Hey, how can you not be happy with 5 goals to nothing? What do you want? 10-0? Is it basketball? Is it for base? Or for a bar? And Gary, what do you really want? Please let Royal Antwerp breathe. Don't suffocate the Belgian people. Please let them breathe. In the spirit of letting people breathe, we've come to the end of the show today. Tomorrow we will have another one. But I know they will not let me leave here without giving my thoughts on tonight's game. So let me give it a try. I always try not to predict first, opening games because you're banking on nothing. Galatasaray playing against FC Copenhagen. I think Galatasaray will win at home. It's going to be very, 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 very feisty. But Galatasaray will win. Real Madrid, Union Berlin. You see this Union Berlin? They are coming at the wrong time. I would have said they would win this game or they will shock Madrid. But nah, they kabab. Madrid will win over 2.5. Arsenal PSV, this is the game I fear the most. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. But I hope, underline that word hope, Arsenal wins. Because if Arsenal doesn't win, the gap between the top and the people chasing is too, the speed is too much. Man City is running at full throttle. Normally, Man City does not start the season well. They give you hope. This one, they are making everybody hopeless. So Arsenal should not be the miserable one. Like Chelsea and Man U are already the miserable ones. Arsenal should not join the miserable bunch. Okay, we have the honest bunch when they do, and we're loving that one, but we don't want a miserable bunch. We cannot enjoy it. All right. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Bayern Man United. You see, on nights like this, you would say, at the nights that Manchester United rise above. That is the match fixing Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson. This Man United will be beaten tonight, but Bayern are not really in the best form. But this reminds me of the night where Bayern beat Barcelona 8-2. I hate to say it, but this might just happen. But Bayern will beat Manchester United. But if Manchester United wins, that will be the surprise. Manchester United win it against Bayern. Bayern, you have history with Man United. You know what happened in 1999 at the Nou Camp. And don't allow what happened in 1772 to repeat itself here. Benfica, Salzburg, Benfica all the way. Braga, Napoli. Napoli are not in good form right now, so I don't really know where to go with this one. But I also don't think that Braga will win. So let's go with both teams to score. I think risky bet, Napoli to win. This one is sentimental prediction. Real Sociedad, Inter Milan. How can Inter Milan win the weekend 5-1 and Real Sociedad lose at Real Madrid 2-1? And I'm not going to pick Inter Milan to win. It's going to be very, very difficult not to pick Inter Milan to win. But the Real Sociedad Stadium is not a place to go for the faint-hearted. So it's going to be difficult, but I'll still go with Inter Milan to win. Sevilla are not good with the Champions League, but that is not so bad that they will not win against Lens. But when you look at their form, that's what the bookmakers will tell you. When you look at their form this season, they are a miserable team this season. So I'm going to sit here and say to myself that I think that this game might end in a draw or Lens will pull an upset. But in the Europa Conference League, Lille will win their game. And that game is coming up pretty early, 3:30. I don't know why, but that's how they put it. So 3:30 that game go on, Lille will win their game. That's my prediction for the night. It is 9:59, time to go. Thank you very much, everybody, for being on the show today. Let's do it again tomorrow. I don't know when Emmanuel will be back. I think maybe next week. The whole of this week is tied up already. We'll have him again next week. Thank you very much. God bless you and have for yourself a wonderful day. DJ Lavoma say Karasvila play is affecting Napoli. This started since the quarterfinals of last season. I think the entire team are not united. The coach, Garcia, is not doing a good job. It's not holding them under control. This is Diale's prediction. One person that I dare say is better than me when it comes to predicting. Galatasaray, his prediction says Galatasaray 1.5, over 1.5. Real Madrid to win. Arsenal over 2.5. Bayern Munich, Manchester United over 2.5. Benfica, go. Napoli to win. Real Sociedad, go. Sevilla under 2.5. I think if you want to bet on all of this, remove the Sevilla and bet on the rest. I think this prediction is supported by me. Not some American politicians who talk. It's supported by me. Thank you very much. My name is Daphne Matthews. You love to come in on the spot. No matter what you do in football, support and everything, and this energy that we give to European football, choose a Nigerian team to support as well, and not just support them, get to know them, get to know their players, their coaches, and understand them. And if you want more opportunities to know those players, then keep following around the MPFL on our YouTube channel. Watch the content, comment on them. Thank you very much, Adele, for your comments, your beautiful comment on the content. Comment on them and follow it regularly. You will get to know these teams and know more about them. Somebody called me yesterday that I didn't know that Nigerian coaches are that educated. And Makaba have a master's degree was a surprise to him. He called me all the way from the US. Ken, thank you very much. Colette, Mr. Moses. Yes, that's one of my graduates from Ecobit. I greet you. And come on from my front. You be veteran. If you not support Nigeria, if you not support Nigerian club now, not support Nigerian club. Now me go support. All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.